Morning, everybody. How are you? Ready for some maths? I've put on my superpower maths brain today so that I'm focused and ready to learn. Are you feeling super and ready to learn? Let's go. To get us in the maths mood, I brought some maths jokes along with me to put a smile on your face. Are you ready? Why was 6 afraid of 7? Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. I get 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Are monsters good at maths? Are monsters good at maths? Only if you count Dracula. Boom. Smiling. You got a smile on your face. Got a smile on your face. Ready to work? Okay. Let's go. I'm just put my superpowers on my head because it was a bit small for my eyes. Right, let me share a screen and then we can begin. Share. Okay. For today's lesson, we're going to be dividing by 10. And to help me with this lesson, what I've done actually, which is maybe what you might want to do before you start, is I've made a times table number line just to keep by my side while I'm doing working out. At the top it says 10 times table number line, and I've done my line and it starts at 10. Sorry, let me make the screen big so you can see it. Hang on a minute. Stop sharing screen. There we go. Hello. Times 10 number line. This is going to help me to help work out some of my sums today. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So there's my 10 times table along there. And then just underneath, just to help me, I put 1 times 10, because that's what 10 is. 2 times 10 is 20. 3 times 10 is 30. 4 times 10 is 40. 5 times 10 is 50. 6 times 10 is 60. 7 times 10 is 70. 8 times 8 is 80. 9 times 10 is 90. 10 times 10 is 100. So I've just got that to look at through the lesson in case we come across any tricky word problems. It might just help me work out some of the answers. So I've got that there ready just in case. Right. So it might be that you want to make something like that to help you with the lesson as well. If you do, pause me now. If you think you're all right and you just want to crack on, let's begin. So here we go. You've seen this one already. Divide by 10. Get ready. Here's some warm-up questions for us. So thinking about our 10 times tables, we've got 1, 2, 3 questions here. Let's look at number 1. It says complete the calculations, and we've got 4 multiplication questions here. 7 times 10, 4 times 10, 10 times 9, and 10 times 11. So think about your 10 times table, how far you need to count on with those. Pause me now while you work it out. How did you get on? 7 times 10, 10. Okay, we're going all the way to 7. 7, can you see 7? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 7 times 10 is 70. 4 times 10. Did you count on 4 when you were doing your 10 times table? 10, 20, 30, 40. See if we can get the answers right. Can we add the, here we go, 70, 40, there we go. 10 times 9, you're counting in tens all the way 9 times. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And 10 times 11, we're going to count in tens all the way 11 times. So past 10 times 10. You ready? I've not got 11 fingers. Never mind. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. Well done if you got that. At question 2, it says circle the multiples of 10. The multiples of 10, numbers that are in the 10 times table. Pause me for a minute, look at all the numbers that are in front of us. There's 7 there, and see which ones of those are in the 10 times tables. Okay, let's have a look together. 12. I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring in my 10 times table number line, tell me with this one. Is 12 in the 10 times table? No. Is 120 in the 10 times table? Well, my number line actually only goes up to 100. But if I added on 10, you know that's 110. And if I added on another 10, that is 120. 12 times 10 is 120. So that could be circled. 55, is that on my number line? No, that's not part of the 10 times table. 80? Yes, 8 times 10 is 80. 10? Yeah. 1 times 10 is 10. That's a multiple of 10, definitely. 41? No, 41's not part of the 10 times table. 14? No, that's not part of the 10 times table. It's often quite easy to spot a multiple of 10, a number that's in the 10 times table, because they all end with a 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Their unit, their ones column is always quaggy bish bash bosh, always ends with a 0. So that's a good way, that's an easy way to spot multiples of 10. Well done. Okay, let's move on to question 3. Here is an array. Hang on a minute. Yeah, Teddy shouting. Hang on, Teds. Sorry, hang on. Ash, Ted's calling. Sorry, got Teddy at home today. Here is an array. Question 3. Upstairs. How many groups of 10 are there? Pause me and see if you can work out how many groups of 10 are there in that array. Maybe try counting the rows or counting the columns. How did you get on? How many groups of 10 are there? Tell you what I've not done. There we go, we've done that there. Circled those ones. How many groups of 10 are there? We've got one group up here along the top. That's a 10. We've got one below. Another one, third one there. And a fourth one there. 4 groups of 10 are shown in that array. Let's learn. Here we go. Dividing by 10. So here's the questions. Here are 20 flowers. And we're used to these pictures of flowers now. They use these a lot. Nice colourful flowers, 20 of them there. It says we can share the flowers between 10 pots. And we can also see those 10 pots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pots. It says we can group the flowers into pots of 10. Have a think for a minute. Can you work out how many flowers would be shared between 10 pots? And can you work out how many flowers would go into pots of 10? So if there were 10 flowers in each pot. Pause me for a minute and see if you can work out the sharing and grouping of 20 flowers. How did you get on? Was that okay? Let's see what Mr. PowerPoint says. we're starting with the sharing equally one, so the 10 pots. And if you shared 20 flowers equally between those 10 pots, it would look a bit like this. There we go. One. They've all got 1 in so far, so that's equal so far, but there's lots left over. Let's share this second lot. Meow. Can you see? How many flowers is in each pot now? 1, 2. Each pot has 2 flowers in it. There are 2 flowers in each pot. So that can be shown as 20 divided by 10, the 10 pots, equals 2. There are 2 flowers in each of them. 20 divided by 10 equals 2. Here's our 20 flowers again, and this time we're going to group them into pots of 10. So grouping them into 10s. 10 flowers go into that pot. And 10 more flowers can go into that pot. So how many pots of flowers can we group them into 10s with? That's right, 2 pots of 10. So 20 divided by 10 is 2. Okay, have a look at this next diagram. I've got a stick of cubes and I've got a pretty good idea how many are going to be sacked into that stick. But let's just double check so we know that we're right. Count how many cubes are in that stick of cubes. Exactly what I thought. 10? Yes, 10 are in that stick. 1 stick of 10 cubes is 10. So that can be shown by this number sentence here. 1 times 10 equals 10. If we shared that stick of 10 equally into these parts over here, can you see? We've got some groups. Let's count how many are in these groups. There's 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we shared our stick of 10 cubes equally between 10 groups, watch how it looks. They all have the same amount in, don't they? They all have 1 in each. So 10 cubes divided into 10 groups, 10 cubes divided into 10 groups, so 10 divided by 10 is 1. There's 1 cube in each group. We've got 2 sticks now. There are 2 sticks of cubes. There are 10 cubes in each stick. How many cubes do we have altogether then? 10 and 10. Well done, 20 cubes altogether. And that can be shown like this. 2 lots of 10 is 2 times 10, and that equals 20. 2 times 10 equals 20. Let's share that 20 out equally into those 10 groups below, just like we did in the last example. That's the first stick shared equally. We've seen that already. Now there's 1 in each group, but we still have that other group to share. Here we go. Whee! 20 cubes that we started with are shared equally among those 10 groups. 20 cubes shared equally between the 10 groups leaves us with 2 cubes in each group. 1, 2. The number sentence for that could be 20 divided by 10 equals 2. Have a look at those 2 number sentences for a minute. And can you see any similarities between them? Do both sums have the number 2 in? Do both sums have the number 10 in? Do both sums have the number 20 in? They're two different sums, but they've all got the same numbers in. They're not in the same order, are they? But they all have the same numbers. They're like a fact family in a way. 2 times 10 equals 20. 20 divided by 10 equals 2. Let's look at another example. See if we can see any other similarities or any other patterns. Oh my goodness, there's 3 sticks of cubes now. How many cubes altogether then? 10, add 10, add 10. 10, 20, 30. 3 times 10 is 30. Now we're going to share those. We've still got our sharing areas below, and there's 10 of those still. So with our 30, let's share them equally in the groups below. In goes the first stick, in goes the second stick, and in goes the third stick. Is that what you thought might happen? How many is in each group then? 1, 2, 3 cubes in each group. So 30 divided by 10. 30 shared into 10 groups equally is 30 divided by 10 equals 3. Look at those two sums again. Do they have the same similarities that the other ones did? Yes. Both sums have a 3 in them, both sums have a 10 in them, and both sums have a 30 in them. 3 times 10 equals 30, whereas 30 divided by 10 equals 3. That 3 and that 30, they swap places, don't they, with the division? Right. I'm guessing at this point in the show, you've got a pretty good idea about what's going to happen next. How many stacks of cubes do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many cubes are in each stack? 10. How many cubes do we have altogether? 4 times 10 equals, well done, 4 lots of 10 is 40. 4 times 10 is 40. Now we're going to share that 40 equally by 10. We're going to divide 40 by 10. Have any of you got any idea what the answer could be so far with 40 divided by 10? Have you spotted that pattern? Well done. Let's see if your predictions are right. So let's start sharing. The first group of 10 go in, the second group of 10, the third group of 10, the fourth group of 10. So 40 shared equally into 10 groups. How many is in each group? 4. 4 cubes in each group. Before I show you the number sentence, do you know what it is already? If you do, say it out now. If you know the number sentence for the division, say it out now. Let's see if you were right. 40 divided by 10 equals 4. 4 times 10 is 40. Swap round the 40 and the 4 for the division, and 40 divided by 10 is 4. Same numbers, same patterns. So this is what we've looked at. We looked at 1 times 10, didn't we? Equals 10, and 10 divided by 10 is 1. We looked at that one. We looked at 2 times 10, and 20 divided by 10. We've looked at 3 times 10, and 30 divided by 10. And we've just looked at 4 times 10 equals 40, and 40 divided by 10 equals 4. So can you make any predictions? Can you guess, an educated guess, about what might come next? What is 5 times 10? And this is where your number line might come in handy if you've made it at the beginning. I could help you out. But I don't want this board for that at the minute. I was going to do something else. What are your predictions for? Well, you're not going to be able to see it anyway, are you? Anyway, we'll try. 5 times 10 and 50 divided by 10. What are your predictions for 6 times 10? And then the divide, and then the other one. Divided by 10. What are your predictions for 7 times 10? What comes next? Pause me, have a think, have a conversation, or jot down your ideas. Okay. Let's see if you were right. 5 times 10 is 50. So 50 divided by 10 is 5. 6 times 10 is 60. So 60 divided by 10 is 7 times 10 is 70. So 70 divided by 10 is 7. Are you saying this along with me? Can't hear you. 8 times 10 is, and 80 divided by 10 is 8, and so on and so forth. You could carry on going and carry on going. It looks good though. Right, let's move on. Here's an array. Use the array to complete the calculation. So thinking about what we've just learned between the relationship between the numbers with multiplication and division, that can help us to solve this problem. Let's start with the multiplication. Got my mouse here. Here we go. Let's start with the multiplication. Can you work out the multiplication that would go with this array? You had a good idea? If you're still struggling, this might help you out. Well done. 3 times 10. We've got 3 rows, 10 columns, 3 lots of 10 equals, what's 3 times 10, everybody? 30. 3 times 10 equals 30. And then, of course, for the multiplication, you can just swap those first two numbers round, because 3 times 10 is 30, but 10 times 3 is also 30. It's the same thing. You can just swap those numbers around. 3 times 10 or 10 times 3, both of those equal 30. So that helps us with this bit here as well, you see? So how can we use that to help us work out the division? Have a little think for a minute and see if you can work out which numbers then, using the array and using the information we've already got, how we can make a division, 2 divisions. Okay. Something divided by something. What is our total Our total is 30, isn't it? So 30 is what we're sharing, and we've been sharing it by 10. So 30 divided by 10, 30 divided by 10 is, what's the other number in that multiplication sum we've not used? 3. When you share 30 by 10, like we did with the cubes, you get 3. 30 divided by 10 equals 3. And if you start with 30 and you divide and then divide it by 3, you have 10. A huge well done if you were able to work that out. Can you see how these fact families all have the same numbers in common, and you're just using them in different ways? Here's another one. Use the array to complete the calculations. Again, we've got some multiplication questions, sums, and then some division sums. So let's start with the multiplications again. Pause me now and have a think what you think those 4 sums might be. Right, let's give it a whirl. There are 4 lots of 10 in that array, aren't there? 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 10. So it's 4 times 10, and we all know 4 times 10 is 40. We also know when we do our multiplication that 4 times 10 is the same as 10 times 4 equals 40. So that helps us with the second one. 4 times 10 and 10 times 4. Or there are 10 lots of 4 if you were going to group it the other way around. Using those numbers that we've got and our knowledge on division and sharing and everything else, what did you get for your division sums? Start with the total. The total is 40, isn't it? 40 divided by 10. 40 divided by 10 is 4. And finally, 40, starting with our total again always, 40 divided by, well, we've done divided by 10 already there, so what's the other number? 4. 40 divided by 4 equals 10. You have 40 and you share it equally between 4 groups. You have 10 in each group. We're going to finish our session with this we're going to finish this session with this word problem. And it's a tricky one today. So we'll tune our brains in. I'll just zap up my brain. Okay, I'm ready. Let's read this word problem together. And we'll work it out together as well. It says Alex buys 10 rolls, and we can see her 10 rolls just here. And she's paying with a £1 coin. Look, there she is with her money in her hand, size of her head. She pays with a £1 coin. She gets some change. She gets 10p change back. So that's good. Whitney, there's Whitney. She doesn't need as many rolls as Alex. She buys 2 rolls. How much does Whitney spend? What? I'll read it one more time. Alex buys 10 rolls. She pays with a £1 coin and gets 10p change. Whitney buys 2 rolls. How much does Whitney spend on her 2 rolls? I'll give you a moment. Pause me. Have a think. What might you do to answer this question? And my top tip would be work out the amount per roll by doing a division for the top part of the sum. And then you'll need to use that information to do a multiplication for this bottom part of the sum. Pause me now and have a go. Okay, 10 rolls cost 90p. If she had £1, and £1 is 10 10p coins. No, going back to my board. No. £1 is 10 10p's, 100. 100 pennies is £1. But she didn't spend £1 because she got 10p change. She only spent 90p. 9 times 10. So 10 rolls cost 90p. That's the first bit of information that it tells us. So we need to divide that 90p that she spent on her rolls between 10 because we're trying to find out what each individual roll costs. So 90 divided by 10 is the division sum that you need to work out for that top part. 90 divided by 10. And some of you will have worked out that that's 9. So each roll costs 9p. So with that information, we can now work out the second part of the word problem. Because Whitney rolls up and she buys 2 of these rolls. Not 1, but 2. So we have to do 9 times 2 to work out what Whitney spent. And we know our 2 times tables. We've done our 2 times tables a lot now. 9 times 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 9 times 2 is 18. So Whitney spends 18p. That was a good, juicy maths problem. I liked that one a lot. Right, it's your turn now. Take your super brain powers, your maths brain powers, and have a look at your questions on the worksheet. What I might be able to do, new share. Ooh, I hope I don't lose. Oh. Stop share, new share. What I might be able to do, hang on a minute, hang on. Hi, is show you the worksheet quickly, unless I'm getting a bit cocky with it, or share screen. Maybe I'm getting a bit cocky. Hang on. Sorry everyone, bear with me. I just wanted to show you the work you were going to do. Maybe I can't. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But anyway, over to you. You're going to be doing your worksheet now. There's a few questions there. I think there's 6 or 7, maybe 8 questions to work your way through. Read them really carefully. It's all to do with what we've just learned now. And your 10 times table and dividing by 10 and number patterns. And it's really good fun. Have a nice time. I'm going to go now. If you have any problems, don't worry, don't panic, don't get your knickers in a twist. Just message Mrs. Ellaway on Seesaw and she'll sort you out because she's good like that. Bye everybody. Happy mathsing. Bye.